Let's talk about the curse, dun dun dun, the curse of the multi-hyphenate and the business newbie nemesis. All right. I just have spent a little bit of time in the DMs here offering some coaching to a business owner peer, and I wanted to share it with you. And what we were talking about was the curse of the multi-hyphenate. And then the conversation evolved into the business newbie niche nemesis and a couple other things. So I just wanted to get into it. Specifically, the multi-hyphenate curse. I know this is an affliction that affects a lot of people. Why? Because we are many things to many people, and often our identities are linked to multiple identities. I know I can really relate to this. And the person that I was speaking with, her Instagram bio looked a lot like mine. Mine used to say actor, comedian, host, MC, speaker, business owner, coach, all these things. And yes, I am all of those things. However, when you're in business to the market, the law of preeminence or the law of authority says that people want to buy and work with leaders who are experts. And there's just something about a multi-hyphenate that says you're a jack of all trades, but not an expert in any of them. Even if you are an expert in all of those things, it just reads as not an expert. It kind of reads as a dabbler. And people just don't identify with that. If I land on your Instagram bio, not that an Instagram bio is the be all end all, one ring to rule them all, but if I land on your bio and it says you're 9 things, well, I want to work with the person who owns that one space, not the person who is 10% of 9 different things. Now, not to say that you can't bring all that work to your work. And I will say this. One of the beautiful things about the work that I'm doing right now and why I feel so powerful and so jazzed and energized in my own work right now is because I finally feel like I am bringing all of myself to my work, my multi-hyphens. What is that? That is 17 years as an actor and stand-up comedian working in TV, film, and theater. Then before that, it's 10 years as a sales manager in financial services, where I was hiring, training, and leading a sales team, a sales force, and running my own branch, running my own office. And then in the last 10 years, overlapping my 17 years as a performer, I have worked as a coach, helping other actors shoot standout auditions, and I've run my own online business. So yeah, there's a lot of me in there. And really what is lighting me up is finally finding a business and an outlet where I am bringing all of that to my work instead of feeling like I'm compartmentalizing things, or like as a performer, I wasn't talking about business and I wasn't talking about sales. And then as a business owner, I wasn't really expressing my performer side. And really what I realized is I got to bring all of that. And why I'm so jazzed and so lit up working with clients now and working with running my podcast is I'm bringing all of my life's work to the table. But my Instagram bio and how I'm positioning myself isn't really, I'm an actor / comedian / coach / MC / host / sales manager / blah, 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 blah. What I'm really doing now is positioning myself as what the work that I'm really doing is as a sales communication coach or as a business communication coach. And then in my work, inside my programs, of course, I'm bringing the performer, I'm bringing the sales coach, I'm bringing my online business expertise. What's up, Mark Kelly McLean? Good to see you, buddy. So here's the deal is, yes, be a multi-hyphenate, bring that to the table, be all who you are and be that aligned, congruent person who brings all of you to the table. However, recognize that to the market, it is more effective that you own one space and be in one space. So that if you're trying to appeal to everybody and appeal to all these identities, then you end up not appealing to any of them, because people want to work with the expert and they want to work with the preeminent person in your space. And then also people feel sometimes like, oh, I don't want to niche down because I'm more than that. And sure, you're more than that. Yes, of course you are. But in business and in your offer, whatever your signature offer is, you need to really speak to one target person, one target client, and it's only your offer that needs to niche down. It doesn't need to be you. So separate the both of those two. Now, the other conversation that we had was the idea of where's my niche? Where do I get started? And the person that I was helping out today, she's got a brilliant niche. She's very well educated. She's got a ton of experience. She's a pro in everything that she does. And her niche relates to helping people connect with their inner wisdom by connecting more to nature. And in doing so, and connecting more to nature, they connect more to themselves, connect more to nature and more to other people, which is brilliant. However, the caveat and the thing that we need to remember in business is we need to, even though we know that, yes, inner wisdom and connecting to nature is brilliant and we all need that. However, we need to sell people what they want versus what we know they need. And yes, we all know people need to connect to nature and we need to connect to themselves. The problem is the majority of people, I suspect, are not walking around thinking, man, I wish I had more inner wisdom. I wish I had more inner wisdom. What are they potentially saying? They may be saying, yeah, I wish I had more connection. I wish my relationships were stronger. I wish my business was stronger. And when you have inner wisdom, when you're connected to your intuition, what does that bring you? So we need to think as marketers, what is the transformation that people want? What do people actually want? Are they walking around thinking, do I want inner wisdom? Maybe not. But what do they want? They want more clients and sales. They want to make faster decisions in their business. They want to spend less time waffling so that they make faster, more effective, more powerful decisions in their business or in their health or in their relationships. So the idea is whatever it is that you are selling, ask yourself, is that what people are walking around saying that they want? And if it isn't, maybe you need to adjust your messaging. I'll give you the example for me. A couple months ago, because of my work as a performer, I was talking a lot about magnetic presence and magnetic performance and the importance of it's not specifically just your words and your scripts and your strategy that matters in business. It is your presence, how you're showing up, your vibration, your frequency, your essence and your aura and your vibe when you show up, which is all true and absolutely that is effective. However, most people aren't walking around thinking, man, I just need to have a stronger presence. What they are thinking in business, in my niche, business owners, online experts, course creators, and speakers and leaders, they are thinking, what do I want? I need more clients and more sales. So yes, what I work with people on being presence and being their delivery and being their performance does bring them more clients and sales. I wasn't speaking to that. So always remember, we need to speak to what people want. We need to meet our clients where they are right now and speak to that. What are the problems and pains that they're in right now? What are the thoughts that they're thinking? What are their current circumstances? Not just sell them what we know they need, which what that means is often you know, as the expert and as the coach, what they really need. But as a marketer, you need to switch. If this is my coaching hat right now, which is, I know that what you really need is you need stronger presence. You need stronger delivery. You need to show up on a higher vibration and a higher frequency when you're delivering your message. But I need to put my marketer hat on. This is my marketer hat. And my marketer hat needs to speak to what people actually want and what they're saying to themselves. And they're not walking around thinking, oh, I need to show up more powerfully and I need to show up with a more powerful presence. I need to be more magnetic. No, they're thinking, I need more clients and I need more fucking sales and I need more leads. So now, even though inside my program, what I do deliver is stronger presence, stronger performance, stronger delivery, stronger vibration, frequency, how to show up more powerfully and how to deliver your message more powerfully. My front-facing marketing is speaking to, are your webinars not converting? Are your live launches not converting? Are your sales calls not bringing in more clients? Are you having trouble bringing in more leads? All of those things, because that is the pain that people are dealing with. So as the marketer, put my marketer hat on right here, my favorite marketer hat. What do you look at? What do you focus on? You focus on two things: the pain they are currently in right now. What is the pain and problem your prospect and your market is in? And what is the transformation? Where do they want to get to? If you could wave a magic wand, rub the magic genie lamp, the magic Joey genie lamp, the magic genie Joey, what do they want? So there was a few ways to look at that. What are the external circumstances they're in right now? And so that means if there was a video camera in their house right now, observing them all day long, what are they going through right now? So that might, in my market, that might mean you're finishing a Zoom webinar and you're closing the Zoom and thinking to yourself, or you're looking in the Zoom chat and it's crickets, or you're refreshing your Stripe notifications and your PayPal notifications and it's silent and you're not seeing anything there. And then you're spending all day rewriting your scripts and you're rewriting your webinar slides and you're rewriting your messaging, thinking the messaging is the problem, but really the problem is how you're actually showing it up and how you're delivering it. So look at what are the things that they're actually going through physically right now. So again, picture a video camera and what would a video camera capture, and then describe that specifically in vivid detail. What you want is your ideal client to be saying, holy shit, Joey, get out of my head. This guy knows exactly what I'm going through. And that gives you authority. That gives you trust. And people want to give you your money because they know that you understand them and you understand their problems. The second thing that you can look at is in problems is what is their internal state? What are the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs they are having? So in my market, it is things like, I'm so tired of showing up to sales calls and them not converting. I'm so tired of giving my webinars and wondering if anyone is going to buy. I'm so tired of posting content on social media only to get crickets. I'm tired of doing all these live launches and doing all these workshops and spending all this time, and people say to me, thanks for the info, that was so interesting, or that was so valuable, but then they don't buy. And feelings of, is this ever going to work? Am I cut out for business? How long can I keep doing this? Or having thoughts of my wife or my spouse is fed up with me because I'm spending all this time on this business and it's not converting into clients and sales. So what I'm getting at is, again, look at external circumstances. So the video camera, what are they seeing your client? And then describe it in vivid detail, like you were a creative writer. So like, what are they doing? What are they seeing? What are the actual circumstances? And wherever you can use specificity like numbers, that is best. And when it comes to the internal circumstances, thoughts, feelings, beliefs, use their words, your client's words. What are the actual words they are thinking? What are the actual words they are feeling? How do they describe their life? How do they describe their feelings and what they're going to? And you pair those two things, and instantly it's like going to a doctor's office where the doctor is like, let me guess, you're going through this and this and this and this, and they describe your symptoms exactly. They say, oh, let me guess, you have a stomach ache in the mornings, and then it goes away during the day, and then it comes back in the evenings after you eat this, this, and this, and then you have this pain and that pain, and you're like, yeah, that is exactly what I'm going through right now. Well, imagine that doctor just walked out of the room without actually giving you the solution. You'd be chasing him like, no, you just described exactly my life. Give me the pill. Give me the magic pill. So then when you get to solution, what you need to do, wearing your marketer hat, again, not the coach hat, because our coach hat, the expert hat, often we speak in language that they don't understand. I work with one of my clients. She's a nurse right now. She's brilliant, knows her science inside out. But if she speaks science and lingo and jargon to her clients, they're like, I don't connect to any of that. So she needs to meet them with her marketer hat. So the second part of this is when you're describing your solution, don't talk about your product, your program, your modules, all the features and all the bells and whistles of your thing. The only thing you need to talk about is the transformation. What is on the other side of them working with you? What is the transformation? So then you paint that vivid picture of, if you've just described the pain and the circumstances and thoughts and feelings of the problem, then don't leave them in that problem. That's a shitty thing to do. Just make someone feel like shit because, oh, look at all the problems you have. No, then take them out. So imagine after our work together, you are going to, and then go back to the video camera. What does your life look like after the solution? Once the transformation is there, what does their life look then? So for me in my business, that means delivering a webinar where the chat is lit up, where people are saying, how do I work with you, before you've even made the pitch, where people are saying, shut up and take my credit card already, or how do I get into your program, before you've even got to the part where you offer anything, because they're just like, this guy knows me. He knows what I'm going through, and I know he can help me because he's an expert. And he just described my exact situation. That might mean you close your Zoom down, you exit the Zoom and check your phone, and your phone is lit up with Stripe notifications and PayPal notifications, and your phone's dinging like crazy, dropping money into your bank account. Or if you do your live workshops or live presentations or live sales calls or stage talks, that means you get off stage and a flood of people meets you at the back of the room asking more questions, or they're submitting the registration card or the commitment card immediately at the back of the room. Like the table at the registration table at the back of the room is filled with people. People can't even get to you because there's so many of them who want to work with you. So I'm just describing again, what does that look like? So paint that transformation. And often we get caught in selling our stuff where it's like, well, it's going to be 8 weeks of this, and there's 34 videos and 4 hours of training and 10 modules inside the portal. Nobody gives a fuck about any of that stuff. In fact, if you could give it in a magic pill or some like magic potion that you put in their water and they just stirred it up, they would take the magic pill. So a lot of the times when you're ranting and raving about your modules and how many videos you have and how many classes it is and how much time it's going to take and how much time you're going to spend with them, they're like, I don't want any of that. Just sell me the transformation. So the second part of the transformation is, again, with your marketer hat on. Yeah, Mark, reach out to me. Yeah, I'd love to talk more. I know that you're always doing great stuff in business, so let's talk for sure. That's why I'm on here. So the second part of transformation with the marketer hat on, not the coach hat, marketer hat. Marketer hat is, what are the thoughts and the feelings and beliefs they have after the transformation? So in my market, it is the feelings and the thoughts you're going to have are, wow, that was incredible. I just did one presentation and had more sales than I've ever had before. Instead of just people saying, thank you for the information, that was really valuable and interesting, and then not buying, they are buying and having the feeling of, oh, this is finally working. Oh, I'm spending less time and I'm making more money, or I'm spending the exact same amount of time and I'm making tenfold money because all the time that I'm spending on these live webinars, on my stage talks, running these challenges, doing my sales calls now is actually converting. And now what's the other thing that's happening? What's the ripple effect is the other thing that you can talk about. So how does it affect their relationships? How does it affect their family? So for me, in my business, once people are seeing the transformation, now their spouse is supportive and thinking, holy shit, you just spent an hour on Zoom and you made how much money? And now you get to be fully present when you're not working, because you're not worried about when you're spending your time with your family, you're not worried about, oh, I should be making money in the business. And when I'm trying to make money in the business, I'm not thinking, shit, I should be spending time with my family. And the ripple effect on your relationships and on your health. So how does that affect people? So again, to sum that up, talk about marketer hat. Talk about marketer hat is external situation. So what is the video camera capturing in their life currently? What is the pain that they're experiencing? If a video camera was set up, what is it seeing? Be specific. Then go to internal thoughts, feelings, beliefs. What are the words that they're saying? And the more you can use specific numbers and the exact words that you know, and this is where knowing your clients really comes into it. And how do you do that? You work with them, you ask them, you poll them, you question them, do intake surveys, do exit surveys, get them on the phone, get them on Zoom, get their screenshots of their testimonials and of their comments. If you're running a webinar, take the whole chat, and you can give the chat to AI and be like, what are the patterns in all these comments? Look on your social media and really know them inside and out. And then second thing is, then you got to transition to the transformation. So Never mind the bells and whistles and features and modules and videos and all that shit. Nobody gives a fuck about any of that. They all they want is the solution and the shortest way, talking about how we need to speak to people's pain and their problems, the specific situation that they're in right now and their thoughts and feelings, and then take them out of the problem, speaking to the transformation of your product or your service, not the bells and whistles and the features. So the transformation is when, after they've worked with you, then what is life going to look like? What does the video camera see then? What is the thoughts and feelings that are going through their head after they work with you, and paint that vivid picture of this is what life is going to look like. And then the ripple effect. What does that affect? And what does that affect? And what does that affect? And then the final thing that I want to share that we talked on in this call, this is great. I love that I'm hopping on here because I get jazzed working with these, and I had a fantastic conversation with a new business owner in the DMs. She's really excited, but she's new. So she's still putting words and thoughts to her offer and how to position it. And all of this is very important. And then the final thing that I said to her, though, was, yes, the words are important. Yes, how you position it and your marketing speak and all that is important, but that is not as important to how you show up. So whatever you land on for your marketing messaging and your marketing words and your scripts and your slides and all that kind of stuff, none of that matters as much as the energy that you show up in. So you need to shout your stuff from a mountaintop. You need to believe it, and you need to explain your stuff like you believe in it, like gravity. If I explain gravity to you right now, I'm not like, well, sometimes things go up and maybe they come down. Or if I'm talking about my program and my products and my services, like the sun goes up, the sun goes down, and tomorrow what happens? The sun comes up. There's no waffling about that. I can explain to you that, yeah, the sun is going to go down tonight and it's going to come up tomorrow. So speak to your audience and speak about your programs and your transformations and your work with that level of conviction. Because I'm telling you, no amount of words, no amount of scripts, no amount of slides is ever going to replace your personal belief and your personal conviction and how you make people feel. That matters way more. And that's a huge amount of my work in my client work right now inside my programs, is reminding people that, yeah, you want to get good words and strong words and say the right words in the right order. But if you say those weak without belief and you're waffling, and if people sense, oh, do they even believe what they're saying? They're not going to invest their money in you if your belief seems weak. So it is more about your energy, how you're showing up, your frequency, your vibration, your conviction. Do you change the molecules in the room? Do people trust you? Are people moved by you? And that is why two people can have the exact same words, the exact same product, the exact same pitch. I can give you the same webinar slides, the same keynote slides. One person will fucking crush and one person will fall flat. One person will have people leaning forward, just on their edge of their seats, hanging on every word, about to give you a credit card. Like, please take my money. I'll follow you wherever you go. I just need to work with you. I got to be in your world. And the other person, same script, same slides. People will be nodding off, checking their watch, tuning out, talking to their neighbor, wondering what's for lunch, or opening a second tab, or scrolling their phones. It is not just the words. It is the right words in the right order, then with the energy and the delivery and the frequency and vibration of certainty that you are an authority and that you are an expert and that you know your shit more than anyone in the world, because the law of preeminence and the law of authority says people want to work with people who are experts. I don't want to give you, like, if you're like, oh, they barely know what they're talking about and they barely believe what they're talking about. Do I want to here, take my money? And then, yes, you would need to have a magnetic offer that is irresistible and feels like a no-brainer. Your client should feel like they are ripping you off. That's how you know you have a great offer, where people are like, I would have paid double for this. I would have paid triple with this. I know in my programs, like whether someone is investing 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 with me, I know the ROI on my work is tenfold, 100-fold, if not 1,000-fold over a lifetime. If I help one client improve the conversion ratio, the sales ratio of a live webinar, a live workshop, their sales calls, or a stage talk, if they make just one sale from that and their product is $500, 1,000, some of my clients, their products are and services are 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. Well, if I help you make just one sale every time you speak to a group of people, times a month, times a year, times 5 years, times 10 years, I know that the work that I'm doing, you're going to receive tenfold, 100-fold, if not 1,000-fold ROI over the lifetime of your business. So I don't have any problems charging 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 for my work because I know the ROI is going to be there. And then I also know for people who don't see that value, you're just not my client. So that's okay. No harm, no foul. So there's my little ranty lesson. I had my coach's hat on. I had the marketer hat on. To recap, the curse of the multi-hyphenate. It's okay to be many things, and you want to bring your full self to your work. That's what I love about me. I get to bring my 17 years as a performer. I get to bring my 10 years as a sales manager, and I get to bring my 10 years as a coach and an online business owner, and I get to bring all those things together. But my positioning now isn't as a multi-hyphenate. If you look at my Instagram bio, it is an actor / comedian / host / MC / coach / sales manager / Right now, what I'm doing is I am a business sales communication coach, or a sales communication coach, or a business communication coach. And what do? I help you turn your live presentations into more clients, more leads, and more sales. Yes, I bring my performance background to that, but you need to pick a lane and pick a niche, and people need to see you as the preeminent owner of a space, if that makes sense. So that was lesson number 1. And then lesson number 2 was sell people what they want, not what they need. You know what they need, but you need to meet them where they're at. So if they're not walking around saying to themselves, oh, I need what you got, then you need to speak to them in their language. So even though once they are in your programs, you can get not a bait and switch you don't bait and switch them in a like in a manipulative or in a fraudulent way. You just know that you deliver. Once they're in your programs, you deliver what they really need, but you got to meet them where they want by talking about their pain, talking about their problems, and then transitioning to the transformation. And then the final wrap up was, remember, it is not your words. It is not your script. It is not your slides. It is not your messaging. The most important thing is the human being under that messaging. So how do you show up? Do you move people? Your vibration, your frequency, your energy, your aura, the molecules are changing in the room. What are people feeling? That famous quote, people will forget what you say, they'll forget what you do, but they won't remember, or they won't forget how you made them feel. So focus on that before you start to speak, before you start a webinar, before you start a sales call, a workshop, a masterclass, no matter what it is, even if it's just a conversation, a personal conversation with a spouse or a relationship. You shouldn't be thinking, oh, what are the words I'm going to say? I got to get the words right. A lot of times when we're backstage or about to go perform something, we're like, I got to memorize the words, or we're looking at the notes. Oh, I got to memorize all these bullet points. No, you should just be thinking, how do I want to make these people feel? How do I want you to feel when I get off a stage? How do I want you to feel at the end of this Instagram rant here, this live? How do I want you to feel? And then, yeah, I can have a few bullet points. In my head, I had a few bullet points, but the main thing, I just knew, okay, this is the message. This is what I need to make you feel by the end of it. I wasn't obsessed about the perfect words. Yeah, the words are important, but the feeling behind that is more important, especially in an AI world. Right now, in an AI world where content and knowledge is commoditized, nobody gives a shit about what you know. You can Google that, you can chat GPT, you can Claude it, you can insert AI tool there. Content is commoditized. But what is rare now is your unique human magnetic presence, how you show up, how you make people feel, the actual human being delivering that message. So do not outsource your humanity to AI. Sure, use it to strategize, and sure, use it to pattern recognition or for automations to make some things faster. But your communication, how you make people feel, how you show up in real live rooms. Do people trust you? Do you command attention? Do you connect with people? Do you move them into action? All of that is something that has to come from you, the human being. And in an AI world, there is a massive opportunity right now for people who are leaning into being a human being right now, because when AI is ubiquitous, when everyone has access eventually to all of the same AI tools, when AI is baked into everything, when software, every AI has it, and every website and every service just has AI, and we all are connected, and the singularity is hit, and we're all one. Well, what is the difference maker? It's you and your energy as a fucking human being. So there we are. Mass has ended. The Church of Joey, marketer hat, coach hat. Hope you've enjoyed. If you haven't done it already, you can listen to my podcast, the Magnetic Presence Podcast. It is on all platforms. I've got videos on YouTube and the audio on YouTube. It's also on Spotify and Apple and Amazon. And I will tell you right now, my business coach and mentor, who's taught me most of this, is running a once a year live 3-part training called the Business Breakthrough Experience. You can go to joeyfreddylarson.bbe. You can register for that for free. Most people who attend this, myself included, say this 3 days with James Wedmore is his name. Most people say that this 3-day free training is more valuable than full programs, coaching programs that they paid $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 for. It only happens once a year. It's coming up soon. You can do one of two things. You comment BBE and I'll send you the link. B for business, B for breakthrough, and E for experience. Or you can go right now to joeyfreddylarson.com/BBE and the link is there. And what does he do in that? He's going to unveil and uncover and show you behind the curtains in his business, specifically his biggest business breakthroughs, where he went from 0 sales to 280,000 in 1 year. Then in another year, he went from 280,000 in a year to 1 million. Then in another year, he went from 1 million to 2. Then in another year, he went from 2 million to 10 million. And any of you who know business, to go from 2 to 10 million is almost unheard of, especially for a solopreneur, a personal brand type business. And he's going to unlock all of those breakthroughs and show you exactly how he did it. He's going to reveal the 5 core ingredients that every business, including yours, needs to be successful and to grow. And he's going to do that in 2 ways. He's going to get nitty gritty with the strategy, the tactics, the step-by-step, the checklists, the Lego instruction manuals, the templates, the frameworks. And he's going to talk a shit ton about the mindsets, the blind spots, the blocks, the psychology that is probably holding you back from your biggest breakthroughs right now. And I can tell you from experience, I've spent 5 years with this man where he's my friend. He's a coach, my business coach, but I'm good friends with him now. And no one has changed my life more than him. And if you're going to have a breakthrough in your life, breakthroughs just don't come in a vacuum. You rarely have breakthroughs just by yourself, where you're just sitting in a room alone and things magically change. Normally, when you have your biggest breakthroughs in your life, something new comes into your life. A new book, a new podcast, a new Instagram live, a new mentor, a new coach, a new idea, a new thought, a new belief, a new strategy. Something new comes into your life. And that's exactly what's happened to me in working with him. And that's exactly what he'll bring you in this training. So you can drop the words or the acronym BBE, and I'll send you the link, or go to joeyfreddylarson.com/BBE, and that'll bring you to the free registration. It only happens once a year. So if you're meant for more, whether you're in business now and you're just starting from scratch. He works with people who are brand new, just in the ideation phase, trying to figure out what their offer is. And he also works with people who are already at 7 and 8 figures and just want to scale to more. So no matter what phase or stage you are in business, he will help it take it to the next level and help you make that breakthrough. And what I will also say, the final thing here is, I used to think that business wasn't for everyone. that, oh, it's just a certain type. Now I've changed that, and I think he has changed his opinion on that. Now I think it's an absolute necessity. There's so much uncertainty in the world. The old world of like finding a job and having that job security is gone. So you need to figure out specifically a personal brand business. So how can you use your human self, your humanity, to build an audience and then leverage that audience to sell them your offers, your products, your services. And the beautiful thing about building a personal brand is you can change, you can pivot. But once you've built your personal brand and people trust you, know you, like you, follow you online, and then ideally you have a business offline as well. Because remember, having an Instagram following, having a TikTok following, having a Facebook following, having a YouTube following is not really having a full business, because you don't have full control. And if they demonetize you, deplatform you, or those platforms go away, what do you have left? So you need to also be building something outside of that. And that's what James will help you do. How do you build systems, and how do you build a team? How do you build automations that live outside of these platforms? Sure, use social media to build your platforms, but you need like an email list is still the holy grail. So build your personal brand. And then the second thing is personal brand. Most important thing these days. They can never take that away from you. And as the one thing that AI cannot duplicate or replicate, your humanity, your magnetic presence, who you are as a person, how you show up in rooms, how you change people, your vibration, your frequency. And then the second thing is, how do you leverage that personal brand into income, sales, clients, revenue? The number one way to do that, the simplest, the fastest, the lowest overhead, is digital products. Leverage digital products. That could mean many things. That could mean a community, that could mean a membership, that could mean courses, that could mean digital downloads, that could mean online coaching, that could mean a lot of different things. But those are digital products, one to many, that are leveraged, meaning you can grow the business without having to put in more time. See, so many people are stuck in the time for money trap, where you're working one-on-one, with clients, and that's great. But the problem is, it's not scalable. There's only so many hours in a day. There's only so many days in a week, only so many days in a year. And then also, what happens when you want to spend time with your family? What happens when you want to take a vacation? What happens when you get sick? What happens when someone in your family gets sick? If you are currently in a situation where when you stop showing up, when you stop working, your paycheck stops, you are in a vulnerable situation. Just look at what happened during COVID. Now, who knows? I don't know. Hopefully we never have a COVID situation again, but I personally want to be in a situation where if something comes, COVID 2 happens, or COVID supercharge happens, I want to be ready to rock so that nothing can stop me. And the way to do that is to own your personal brand and to monetize it through digital products. And that is exactly what the business breakthrough experience will do. So it's coming up soon. You can go to joeyfreddylarson.com/BBE, or drop the word BBE, B for business, B for breakthrough, E for experience. It happens once a year. It's free, and you will find that what you learn and the breakthroughs that you get from just 3 days with this man, and I'll be there myself. This will be like my 5th or 6th year attending this. And every year I get some new pearl of wisdom, new nugget that blows my mind and helps me completely blow up my business again, where I end up, typically what happens when I work with him is I end up earning more while doing less, or I end up doing less and earning more. So that is what you'll find. So you can go to joeyfreddylarson.com/BBE, or drop BBE in the comments. I'll see you at the Business Breakthrough Experience. I would love to hear your thoughts on this live. So hit me up in the comments and the DMs here. And if you want to check out more, you can find the Magnetic Presence podcast online. And just remember, in an AI world where AI content and knowledge is commoditized, your number one business asset is you, the human being, your magnetic presence. So lean into who you are as a human being. Don't outsource your humanity to AI, and you will see some beautiful things happen, my friend. All right, I got to sign off here, but I would love to hear what you're doing and see if there's any way that we can be working together. The other thing that I love to do is I love to be on stages. So if you ever have an opportunity for an MC, a host at any of your events, a keynote speaker, I am 100% down. And I bring my flavor, which is half stand-up, half TED Talk. All right, peace.